Okay. Sam Patchen. Samuel, why are you late?
I was writing the award that we're giving to Ruben, and then I realized that it was 110, so I ran over here.
Class, do we think that's acceptable and honorable excuse? All in favor of Sam being acquitted, say aye. All right, Sam, you're acquitted. You guys know that you have an exam on Wednesday, right? Okay, so make sure you come. What time is it? 1 o'clock? Yes, come at 1 o'clock to take the exam. Let's see. It's really one chapter to review. I was thinking about what do I do for review? Are you gonna make me go put the camera in your face again like last time? Okay. So
I have an idea. Why don't we put up like a matrix and make them orthogonally diagonalize it or something? See if they can do it.
what do you guys want to do?
One question exam per chance?
Do you have a matrix that? Okay. Technically, yes. Okay, yeah, that actually works. Let me grab a marker. Here's what I'll say in terms of the actual structure of the test, okay? It's going to be the same as we always do. There's 6 total questions because one of those is a bonus. If you're not working through your lecture notes and the examples we've done in class and your Pearson homework, then honestly, it's okay, right? Because here's how my brain thinks about it, right? I graduate in like 19 days. And to be honest, I just gotta grade them. That's my job. So the extent that you want to prepare is your choice. But just know that this one truly will be, you exactly earned the grade that you got. Because I believe in fairness, but because of that, how people do is very reflective of the effort that was then put in class outside of lecture hours. So keep that in mind. If you don't know, I'm actually going to answer this question before I get 10 separate emails from different students. What should I do to study for the exam, Scott? I don't know what to study. I don't know what to study. How do I study for an exam? Well, we've had only 6 lectures in the entire unit. And in those 6 lectures, I pretty much cover all the definitions and examples. And it would be a real bummer if you came to my office just for me to open up a laptop and point at a YouTube video and say, oh my goodness gracious, it's the same exact thing as I would have told you. Okay, so if you want to email me and say, how do I study for the exam? I'm going to answer that question right now. YouTube playlist, watch all of the lectures. I don't want to do that. Okay, well then you don't want to study for the exam. Okay, so if you want to study for the exam, that's what you do. Go through the lectures. Make sure you can actually solve all of the problems that we've been doing in lectures. If you can't solve a problem in lecture, try to figure out how to solve the problem. If watching the recording and you still don't know how to solve the problem after watching the recording, that's when you say, hey Scott, I was watching lecture 6.4 and the exercise in lecture 6.4 on specifically the step where I am to be X, Y, Z. I am confused about how we get from point A to point B. Do you see how that's a very different question than help? Can you please have mercy because I didn't choose to start any studying until right now? Do you see how those are very different requests? Okay? Compare that to, Scott, I was doing my Pearson homework in 6.2, and Pearson says that I need to format it like this, but in lecture, we were talking about not rationalizing our denominators. Is that something that matters? Very different type of question than, Scott, can you give partial credit for 17 homework assignments that I didn't turn in this semester? Do you see how those are very different questions, yeah? Okay, and so it hasn't been not communicated to keep up with Pearson, and it most definitely has not been not communicated to be reading the textbook. Okay, so again, I love receiving student emails because that's my favorite part of this. What I don't like doing, though, is checking my email to see people just asking help. And I say, with what? And you say, everything. I'm like, what does that mean? Does that mean you just started studying the course content right now? Because if that's the case, I don't even know what to say, you know? So, please, that's my disclaimer. I have my own things going on in the last 2 weeks to graduate. And as much as I want to give my time to help you guys, it is much more difficult to give that time when there is no preemptive effort put into those questions. Make sense? So, what are the things I'm always going to tell every single person, no matter what, when you're studying for this exam? What's the first thing? And second, what are we looking for in those lectures?
Do the problem.
And if you can't do the problems, what should you probably do?
Then email you specific questions on regard to
Yes, practice them. Okay. Let's do, I like Dr. Murda's suggestion. I'll make a symmetric matrix here. Let's make the diagonal something straightforward. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's put, I don't know, designing a symmetric matrix is kind of fun because you just have to make sure it mirrors itself.
Scott, I have a question. How's your day?
I did not sleep last night.
Dang.
I wrote a 12-page paper overnight.
The cooker.
So free will is a very interesting thing.
That's what I said.
What I chose to do with my free will is work this job. Anyways. Okay. Is this a symmetric matrix?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's orthogonally diagonalize. Orthogonally diagonalize. And also, if you want to practice other skills and such, go for it. Use the class period time to start your process, organize your notes, and get that process rolling, okay? Be proactive about this one. I want everyone to come out of the exam feeling like, oh yeah, I cooked that exam. That was a good exam experience, okay? That's super achievable if you do exactly what I've been saying all this time, okay? So if you want practice on orthogonal diagonalization, there's a sample problem for you. If you want to just go through and start organizing your notes and organizing your review process, use the time, okay?
On this last chapter, in for this exam, is there any space in the room for proofs on the exam?
No proofs.
Okay. So we were looking at computational.
All computation.
Okay.
Yes, because the proofs in this section. Oh, yeah, I should say. No, you won't have to prove anything on this exam, and here's why. Here's why. Because the proofs in this section are actually, like, the concepts are now too complicated that the textbook, the proofs that the textbook has aren't technically fully rigorous. So I'm like, why would, the whole point of doing a proof is because it's building it from the ground up. But if the actual proof is just a Mickey Mouse version with duplex Lego blocks to simplify what's actually happening, why do that? Why waste your time? So no proofs, but everything is computational, which means that you gotta really practice your computation.
Can you give us a breakdown of like which questions have how many parts?
So I decided to learn from my mistakes, and question 1 only has 2 parts, but by 2 parts, it's really just one question that is arbitrarily split as 2 parts. To make it so that partial credit grading is easier on me and my brain. Question 2 is just one, it's just a question. Question 3 is just a question. Question 4 and 5, yeah, it's all just a question. So in total, there are 6 questions in total, yeah.
To make sure, this is chapter 6, not 7.1.
Right, well, 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, 6.4, 6.5, 7.1.
Okay.
You see there's an extra credit, again? Is there another extra credit for it?
Yeah, it's the same as every other test in the class, yeah. The sixth question is the bonus.
To find the determinant, can I row reduce it to a triangular matrix?
Can I make an observation real quick? This is about the presentation. The first group will be going next Monday. Is that right?
Yes.
And everything, so that's the first three groups actually. So could you make sure, I had a couple of emails that I had, people were in the wrong groups than they wanted to be in. I fixed that now. So take a look to see if your issue got fixed. Make sure it did. If not, come see me again after class. And just be ready, groups 1, 2, and 3 to present on Monday, next week, 7 days from now. Yes.
The second one is an exam grade, the presentation.
It's like 10% or something.
Wait,
But
what does that mean, like, is it exam grade?
I'll look to see what it is, I don't remember.
Because in Z2L, it's
Is that a question?
I don't know where I'm going to be.
Do you have a question, or did you just want to say hi?
I just want to say hi.
Okay, well, I can make that easier for you. Say hello to the future generations of linear algebra.
Hello.
Please do not fall behind on your homework.
He's speaking from personal experience. Wow.
I have just passed 1,000 subscribers on my personal YouTube channel, and I have not uploaded in a month. So Scott deserves more subscribers, boys. He uploads every single week.
Except I'm about to graduate though, so not really.
I gained 2 subscribers from my 2048 speedrun in Calc 3. I don't know how, but I did.
Scott, you cannot abandon your child right here. You got to do something with this. What you have here is amazing. The content. What?
Thursday, 1 p.m. What are you doing? Thursday at 1 p.m.
I don't remember.
I'm probably going to be sleeping. I don't know.
No, we have to work on our project.
Okay, fine. We'll work on the project.
Thursday, 1 p.m.
Would we be required to be able to find the eigenvalues on this exam, or would you just give them to us like you did last time?
You'll get the eigenvalues, if there are any. I'm even trying to remember if I do that or not.
Because don't we need eigenvalues to diagonalize?
Yeah.
So.
You'll get the characteristic equation. So there won't be.
Okay, yeah, the characteristic. It's like I don't feel like solving that right now.
What's on Friday?
What's on Friday?
I'm taking it now.
Good Friday.
So orthogonal diagonalization is using the projection L and Y
Yeah, there's
thing.
no class because on Good Friday we mourn the crucifixion.
Why don't we have
of
poems?
Jesus.
We should have had poems.
But that's last Sunday.
Well, we should have had them today just to like celebrate.
Whose budget, man? Whose budget? Not mine.
Someone should have warned me. I would have brought poems. I just start going like this guy.
We did a cool gamer intro and outro to get more subscribers.
What?
Cool gamer intro and outro to get more subscribers. What I say is, for my outros, I say, this has been Corporal Hot Pocket showing you what the ladies like, one lesson at a time. Remember to hit the big red button to eradicate all the Xenos, then hit the Liberty Bell to replace them with America.
What? Hey guys, this is your Rizzler, Denzel Bethlehem. No. Keep him right here.
I'm the Joker.
Oh wait, I got something to say. No, I got something to say. So, in one of his videos, he says sorry for no reason. He's a good teacher. Don't let him lie to you. Don't let him go. He might have had that little Holy Spirit grade and all that. Good teacher though. We're not playing those games.
I don't want to study for linear. Play badminton today. I don't want to study for linear.
I don't want to say for linear.
I'll think about it. Do you have any parting words of wisdom for the linear students in the future? We're talking to future students.
Yes. Take notes and study hard. That's it.
You're telling them to take notes, and that's what your notebook looks like right now? It's crazy.
Yeah, I've been taking notes of the.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh,
I've been watching
look at that. What?
I haven't been taking notes, so okay.
Can you row reduce this and it would technically be the same matrix?
Well, if you row reduce it, you have a different form of, you have a row equivalent matrix, but that's not the same.
Okay,
They're different matrices, but they're row equivalent.
So it won't work.
What?
It won't work.
To do what?
If you solve it, wouldn't
Why are you using a different amount?
Wouldn't solving
told
to
me
get
that
row reduced
this would be in the
epsilon matrix
This
and
is in
then
the
doing
spirit
the
of the
lambda
exam.
value thing, wouldn't it be easier? So therefore,
I would take that matrix and subtract minus lambda I, because that will generate your lambda.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
like
But
doing a
would it-
characteristic equation.
But technically, if I row reduce it and then do that, will this technically be the same answer? That's what I'm asking.
I would do, okay, I see what you're saying. For the
Yeah.
determinant, follow the determinant properties.
Okay.
So basically, like, if you scale, then you have to scale your determinant. If you swap a row, you have to negate the determinant and flip the minus
Oh,
sign.
you got to fill the minus.
But otherwise, yeah, you could reuse your determinant.
Will this be something I want to?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Scott, is this one from 7.1 that we practice gonna be like what you just put on us?
Honestly, I'd be so for real.
But yeah, I'm done.
Do you have any parting words of wisdom for the these? You're talking to future generations right
Future
now.
generations? This is big. I don't know.
What have you learned in this class? Outside of math.
Outside of math, believe you can do it.
That was, okay.
It's deep right there.
That was deep. What if you can't do it? Do you not have the faith then?
Well, if you believe you can't do it, then you definitely won't do it. So you have to start by believing you can do it, even if you can't do it, and then you'll be able to do it.
But what if God tells us to do stuff that he knows we can't actually do?
Maybe it's 7.1.
Well, it's true, because we can't do anything without God.
See, there we go.
Yeah.
Natalie, do you have a theological critique of Noel, or do you have
Well, if you can't, you ask him. Or you go to him
and then
give
he
it to
does
him. Yeah.
Then you empty yourself, and then he starts using you to do it. The analogy of a glove. Imagine being a glove, okay? But no
I have it in my
hand
head.
wears the glove and does something with it. So you're just a lifeless,
sad,
single, alone glove.
It's a sad
That's
existence.
us. That is us. Without the Spirit of God.
Yeah, this would be argument.
There you go.
It's true.
Can a glove plant a garden?
No.
Does the gardener choose to wear a glove? I pirated that analogy from a different pastor. Any parting words of wisdom for future classes?
Read the textbook. It'll help you a lot.
Amen.
Try to prove by yourself. Try to prove all the thing by yourself.
Oh yeah, Dr. Harder's gonna have some wisdom for the next class.
Well, the main thing is you do need to stay current with what's going on in class. So don't let yourself fall behind. Reading is always a great way to learn, and there's tons of videos online. I like that one blue.
Yeah, 3 blue, 1 brown guy.
3 blue, 1 brown. It kind of brings some visualizations to understand the concepts. Always reach out if you have any questions. Don't be shy. And yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Harder. Words of wisdom for the future generations.
Well, make sure y'all read some notes and make sure y'all ask advices to your TA and teacher.
Was that tasty?
Oh yeah. Take more.
Show
Take more caffeine.
No,
This
don't.
is great.
Don't.
Oh, okay. Don't do that. I mean, yeah.
Let me see your notes. Are they pretty?
I don't know. Are they?
No,
Future
go back-
generations,
go
are
back-
they pretty?
Go back through your chapter 6 then. Oh, that's so beautiful.
Thank you.
What? Okay, good. Do you have any words of wisdom for future students?
Review a lot about the proof questions. Yeah.
Bros, and that makes me a little sad.
The what?
The roots of this equation, the roots of the characteristic are not integers.
So this is literally.
Yeah, well, because I made it up on the spot. You think I'm an actual math student?
It's like I don't feel like doing this one.
If you're not a math
Student
student,
examples
nobody's a
and
math
selections.
Do the Pearson
No,
example?
the lecture example.
Oh.
Do we have definitions at all?
Hold on a second.
Fine.
Talk to the subscribers for a second.
What do I? Yeah. All right. So math might seem boring, especially to those engineers who just look at the real world fruits of the labor, the jet engines, the tanks, the nukes, all the good stuff. But math is actually very important. Math not only helps us design these things, but math can also help us prove these things. With math, you cut out a lot of trial and error. You're able to optimize a system. You're able to balance out competing interests in a design, such as weight, drag, and all these things, so that you can get the perfect design for what you're looking for immediately. That's something that wasn't necessarily possible a few decades ago before computers that were capable of very advanced calculations, which is why, number one, aircraft were a lot less optimized, and number two, things required decades to develop and tremendous amounts of paper and research and physical testing before the actual machine could be produced. You might be thinking, how come things take longer to develop now? That's because of corporate greed, not necessarily because of limited technology. When we actually do build stuff, we can build it very quickly and very effectively because we are able to just very quickly optimize what you're looking for and create basically the perfect design for it. Look at SpaceX and those rockets. Compared to NASA, which has had decades of funding on a much larger scale, SpaceX was able to very quickly identify what they needed to do, identify the critical parameters that needed to be optimized in order to create these reusable rockets, and then focus on those specific criteria.
That's crazy.
Being able to produce, over a relatively short period of time, very cost-effective rockets.
I don't have any idea what he was telling you guys, so I'm sorry.
Hello, class. Do I need to get to the characteristic equation?
Oh, okay.
I need to practice myself.
Okay.
Yeah. Wonderful. Wisdom for the class.
Hi. I have a question though.
Yes.
So for this example, what if the V1 and V2 is orthogonal basis? We just normalize it?
Let's see. So you have a basis to start with right there.
Yeah.
But notice that that's not orthogonal yet.
Mhm.
So you'd want to do the orthogonal formula. Oh yeah, it's right there in your notes. They're not orthogonal.
What if that is also?
Oh, if it already is, then you just normalize.
Okay. Thank you.
Chloe, I'm coming. I saw it in you.
Fine. Oh. So, am I doing this right?
Oh, what fell?
What?
You can do a different one?
What did you say? I don't know.
No. Too loud for the class. Anything marked with 6.
Yeah, it's literally a determinant.
Oh, yeah, you're doing it right.
So, y'all both have to.
Diagonalization. Wait, move your arm. Move your arm. No,
arm.
go that way.
Kobe.
I need some wisdom, Samuka.
What do you want?
Right now.
Tá, o que você quer? O que você precisa saber?
Muitas coisas.
Então, vamos lá. Para você diagonalizar você diagonalizar uma matriz usando o método ortogonal, você precisa primeiramente encontrar o determinante, a fórmula determinante daquela matriz. Encontrando aquela determinante, você encontra a raiz daquela fórmula. E como que você faz isso? Você usa o método de find the determinant. Você acha a determinante. So weird. I've never talked about linear algebra.
Yeah, I know, it's, the math vocabulary is weird.
And that's how we find a determinant, but in Portuguese.
Nathan, words from our hero, class hero. We need some words of wisdom.
Just make sure you know all the examples in class. Like, we should be good.
Yep.
Like, take 5 hours. Just go through them all.
The great state of Colorado.
Oh, any words of wisdom?
Torture. This is one determinant.
Words of wisdom.
Or anything. You can share whatever you want to the future generations of learning
Anything to
algebra.
the future
Yeah.
generations. Math is a very important class to learn in real life. I would highly recommend for the exam though, like you make sure you have a really good, really solid understanding of the concepts before exams.
I would agree with that. Thank you. Okay, Mr.
We did U1 times.
You're speaking to future generations who will see this. This is the final video in this playlist. What are you gonna say?
If a little Asian man walks around carrying a computer, make sure you have something prepared to say, or you will look like a fool in front of the class.
I don't know. That felt relatively targeted.
U2 and U1.U3 means it's orthogonal to 2 and 3.
That's every combination.
2 is already orthogonal 1 because we showed that. So
Be like Sam and
show that
Tyler.
U2 is
Be like Sam and Tyler who are studious and actually doing the problems correctly and studying their notes. That's why they're succeeding, because they're good students.
And now let's pan to Agno that's
Now
looking at
let's pan
manga.
to.
Look at manga. No. You know what? Let's see what he was looking
Drink
at.
without a
Let's,
straw.
Here. Let's see what he's looking at on his phone.
Energy drink, bro. What is
Let's look at what he was looking at
Oh
on
my.
Yes.
Do you have any words for the future generations?
The future
Of
generations.
linear
Don't use
algebra?
AI for all your Pearson homework.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
If you're going to practice, don't use AI. Actually, practice them.
Don't pull a prim.
Don't do a
pull
me.
a prim and don't
Bro's
solve the
locking
matrix
in.
because bro reduces.
Look at this man locking in. He's so locked in right now. He's gonna do well.
Hopefully.
Yeah, he's gonna do well.
I already shot.
You see my grades?
Okay.
I figured as much.
My notes are incomplete. I quite literally don't know.
Does that mean
Miss Winkler, do you want to speak to the generations or no?
Okay.
am I good to eat my sandwich then? I've been
Yeah, you can eat it.
whole time.
I held Colby's head in my hand for the video. That's my wisdom.
This is from ER. Oops. Oh no.
Oh, I don't want to show your entire notes to the world, actually.
Oh. Your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift back to God. That's from ER. That's from Dr. Bitten's mom.
Very nice. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, it's back to Corporal Hot Pockets here.
I wish you hadn't said that. So what I leave off with the rockets. By being able to optimize the processes of these rockets in a very fast way, by outlining your specific parameters, what you need to do in order to achieve this purpose. Essentially, at a very, very rapid cycle of research and development at moderately low costs over the course of a very fast period.
That's crazy.
Compare the endeavors of SpaceX to what NASA was going through 50 or 60 years ago. They were sinking tons and tons of money to get relatively similar results. Obviously, NASA did a lot of the legwork that others in future generations, including SpaceX now, is working off of. However, SpaceX appeared at a time that the space industry was relatively stagnant and was able to make these rapid progressions by having clear goals and by being able to use math to optimize these very specific parameters of their rockets. And then after that, they started getting these rockets to work. They started designing reusable rockets on a large scale, like Starship is going to be. And they started making Starlink and other profitable measures that essentially meant that the company has gone from being small, niche, and investor-focused to swimming in cash. And again, the reason why is because in this day and age, we're able to...
You're giving them the eigenvalues. That's very kind of you.
Well, you guys need to see this. You see this? The numbers? The matrix. The matrix is attacking those words. The matrix is attacking.
Look at it.
But
because it's symmetric.
But we've been able to isolate what we're looking for in modern industries, in modern designs, and we're able to optimize these specific traits. We want to isolate this specific parameter. We want this jet engine to be effective above this particular altitude, which means that certain design restraints have to be placed in order to allow that to happen. It has to be below a certain weight. It has to be able to work at a certain temperature.
I think
it has
something
to
went
make
wrong
this
and I can't
particular
tell
type
what.
of exhaust. It has to use a particular type of fuel. So what you're going to have is you're going to have different,
No, like just down here.
different graphs. You're going to have different lines
think
where
I
if
can
the engine
tell?
goes above this
I don't
particular
know.
weight,
I don't know.
if this
Think I'm
particular
awake and
I'm supposed to
component is made
zero
of
out. This
particular
row's supposed to
material,
zero out, and I
you
don't
can
know
have
why. It's not.
increasing results to a point,
kind
and
of
then
block
diminishing
it.
results
Yeah, but
to
it's
another
like not
point.
zeroing
You layer
it.
this with 4, 5, 6
Oh,
different
you
factors.
have it- you
The
probably
weight,
finished keeping
the weight of the engine,
Wait.
the length of the chamber, the rotation speed, all these
Because I'm
different things that
looking
I'm
at
sure
it's
lots
like-
of people
so I
will know
do
a lot more about.
-5, right?
You're going to
So
find
then
a
that
sweet
becomes
zone
0.
essentially.
And then
by being
so
able
then
to
I
identify that
add
sweet zone,
20
where all
to
these
negative
factors
2, that's
combine in the
18.
perfect way,
And
or
then
the
I
best way,
subtract 5,
nothing's perfect.
-1.
By being able to figure that out relatively early on,
And then
instead
I do the same
of
thing here.
having
I'm
to
so
build, design, and build
confused.
dozens of different engine models, and then finding out which of those work and why they work, and then slowly inching towards what you find to be the best particular model. Instead, you're able to do a lot of that legwork early on by just quantifying and optimizing. And that's the way everything works. That's the way everything good works with technological development. That's the way AI works. Quantify and optimize. The reason why AI is able to draw faces or draw other things that I can't discuss in a public setting is because it attaches numbers to whatever you're looking for. It quantifies, and then it begins to sort those numbers into the best possible arrangement of what you're looking for. It optimizes, quantify, and optimize, and that's my lesson for today. I've said all that I need to say. Axel, I'm giving this to you now.
No, I was gonna say something crazy. Okay, I gotta say something. Petite.
This guy's gay.
Bro, what?
What did he say?
What did you say? What did you say?
Jeez. Study hard. Do your homework.
Bro, I look fat in this, bro.
We say no, it's fine.
Alright, here.
Because you're no, you don't. I don't think you don't. Your body language goes down.
Anyone else wants to talk to the computer?
I don't need pedagogy classes.
Denzel, I feel like you probably talk to a lot of computers. Do you like to talk to the camera?
Talk to computers?
Bro, hey, Danny, think of it.
Me. Anyone else? I kind of ran out of things to say. I really don't know what to say now. Come, what are you thinking? Are you locked in?
A little bit. I don't know. I'm not too worried. This doesn't seem hard. I say that as I'm getting cooked, but like this doesn't seem bad.
But anyway.
You know what? How to have success at Oral Roberts University's math department. So the key to understand is that essentially there's this brutal math placement test called the ALEX test?
Yeah.
ALEX test. That every incoming freshman has to take, bar some exceptions, which we're going to talk about. Now the main problem about taking this placement test is because it is brutally unfair and bad. And as I've come to learn, that's kind of by design. They want to really put the freshmen through the ringer so that the freshmen can really be confident that the classes that they've been placed into are the classes at their level. This is college level, and these classes are very difficult. So you can't just really be dropped into Calc 1 or 2 or whatnot. Now, the exception to this is if you have college level credits that you've transferred in, whether it be AP, community college, other forms of college level high school classes, all this stuff. If you can get that in, you'll be able to pass through. If not, you have to take this test, you have to do good on it, and then you have to start your math career from wherever it drops you. Could be calculus, could be algebra 2, could be trig, could be whatever. Once you start with that, the thing you have to understand is that these lower level math classes, like calculus, like trig, these are weeder classes. What that means is these are going to be very rough classes.
Keep cooking, Akshay. No,
These are very tough classes because these are the
Listen
gateways.
to it. Listen to it.
This man has made it far.
Yes, somehow. These are weeder classes. These are the barriers.
This is how I did it. And then just went on the
100 credits is insane.
Look up Viola Man.
But either,
gonna watch it, but hey.
but either way, these are weeder classes because these are essentially the gateway entry towards upper level math, upper level physics, engineering, and everything.
Quiz that this came from, an old quiz. It's on News Island.
Thank you.
And then there's 2 files. The first one's the actual quiz if you want to try to take it, and then the second one is the solutions to the quiz.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's very
Right
useful.
under the groups, I've got the groups pinned up above it. So
One would think so.
I don't know. I hope so. I can't guarantee. There should be some positive correlation.
Either way, these are reader classes that are essentially the barrier of entry towards upper level. So with engineering, which is my field, I can't speak as much about math or physics, but for engineering specifically, Calculus 1, Calculus 2 are the backbone upon which every single thing else depends on. Because if you can't take calc, you cannot take physics 1 and 2. And if you cannot take physics 1 and 2 and statics, you cannot take anything else. So we kind of joke that it all comes back to physics. Essentially, the chain that I've taken so it's all a bunch of chains that lead back to calculus. So Calculus 1, Calculus 2 leads to Physics 1, Physics 2, Statics, Mechanics and Materials, Principles of Design. Now, these classes are all a chain back to Physics 1. Physics 1 is basically just normal mechanics, forces applied on an object, projectile motion, everything like that. Everything I've been doing since then in this particular field has been just a refinement of that. So, Physics 1, Statics, more advanced Physics 1, Mechanics of Materials, more advanced Statics, Principles of Design, more advanced Statics, more advanced Machines and Mechanisms, and what's the last one? Machines and Mechanisms. They all go back to this. And if I don't do Physics 1, I cannot do this. There is non-calculus-based physics that you can do. It's not going to do you any good here because in this case, you do need to know calculus for a variety of different reasons. You have to be able to understand the relationship between position, velocity, and acceleration, how they're all derivatives and integrals of each other. You have to understand how to optimize transcendental problems, the ones that require, you have to understand that. You have to understand how to optimize different scenarios. Like one particular really nice problem that I think of is a problem where you have, like, say, a fence, and you have to basically have a specific length of fence, and you have to enclose the biggest possible area with that length of fence. You have to optimize those parameters. Again, that's a very practical application. My buddy at a farm somewhere by 200 feet of fence. What's the biggest possible field size that he can enclose with that area? Well, you have to do that math. You have to calculate. You have to identify those variables and optimize them. So if you don't understand Physics 1, Calculus 1 and 2, you cannot go through any of that. So you have to get through that, and you have to get through that early. And what I did is I took those in high school. I took AP Physics, AP Calculus C, AP Calculus C, BC, which means Calculus 1 and Calculus 2. It was a very long course, very brutal. A lot of fun because the teacher was really chill and I had a good crew, but it was a lot of work, a tremendous amount of work. And what's nice about that one is, as opposed to the other AP Calc, is that this one counts as Physics 1 and 2, but it has 2 separate scores. So you can actually pass one and not pass the other, whereas the other one, it's only Calc 1 and it's only pass or fail. So in my case, I didn't actually pass Calc 2, I had to take a year, but I did pass Calc 1, which meant that I had a class already taken out, and I didn't have to take this very hard placement test. I just got dropped in. That simple one semester ahead helped me so much. I did Calc 2 freshman year in the fall. Then in the spring, I did differential equations a year early. Now, that didn't help me out too much in terms of learning everything ahead because we didn't use it as much, but it did mean that the following spring, which would have been a very tough semester, was a lot lighter for me. It also meant that I wasn't, forced to play catch up like some of my friends were. It also meant that I was able to be introduced to some of these concepts a little bit earlier. So even if I had to retake Calc 2, even if I had to refamiliarize myself with these concepts in Physics 1, Physics 2, I already had been exposed to them. It wasn't my first time. I understood them a little bit better. So all this basically meant that by having this slight only one semester, slight head start, it helped me out tremendously. If you're in high school, do everything you can to give yourself a slight head start. AP Physics is hard, AP Calc is hard, I'll just take it in college. You can do that, don't get me wrong, you can do that, and plenty of people have succeeded by doing that, but you're giving yourself a lot of potential options if you try to do it now. Even if it's not great, even if it's hard, even if you don't pass, you're giving yourself a lot of possible options. Next up, we have to understand for upper division math classes, you have to read a lot more. Now, all my classes gave me textbooks, and I rarely, if ever, had to do much with them. Occasionally, teachers would say, look up problem over here, homework's going to be these questions, whatever. But we rarely, if ever, actually read the actual content of the textbook. Instead, the teacher would lecture, write notes, I'd copy down the notes, I might reread the notes occasionally, do the homework, do the test, pass, move on, be good. Maybe this is indicative of a less than stellar work ethic, but I felt like I was able to do well enough in high school with this, and even in some of the first classes in college. By around sophomore year, this was no longer adequate. You need to read the textbook. Maybe not, master. Maybe not, take notes on everything like you would for biology, like I had to do that in biology. But you do need to read the textbook. You need to understand these concepts. You need to go over them. You need to go over the notes. If you have video lectures like we're doing right now, you need to rewatch those. Video lectures are amazing because you have the lectures in front of you. You have the notes in front of you.
if I'm right.
But it's dynamic. You can move it. You can pause it. You can rewind. You can't do that as easily in the lecture. You have a lot of options that can help prepare you.
Opened up a study plan for this next test on my math.
Thank you very much.
No,
that was very wise advice.
I was planning on sending this to you the second you finished.
The very, very first one.
If you're gonna do a week, you'll probably do 2 meals per week, because if you do 2 meals per week, that means per meal slot that'd be $25 per meal slot, which means that you can do a meal and a half.
He's calculating how much meals you're gonna need for.
No, he said can you lift up $50?
Brother, we lived off of $50 per week. We did it.
Yes, you can.
We proven.
I didn't get wisdom from Patchen. He's the chaplain.
The chappy.
The chaplain.
Come on, chappy
Right.
boy.
What wisdom are we looking for future classes?
Come on.
You're talking to the generation.
Yes.
Oh,
Generations, but after you. This is gonna be on the internet.
As far as linear matrix algebra goes, or just life in
Anything.
general?
Whatever the Holy Spirit
Anything
is
in
leading you.
general. Okay, well,
How to get a girl.
love God first in all things.
Amen.
Submit your ways to Him, and He'll make your path straight.
Amen.
Amen. Yes. That's my chappy right there. Actually, technically.
And I also need to get advice from you.
Please don't.
This is just overall.
Any word to
Anything.
Whatever you want to say to the future generations.
How do we get such amazing?
See, when you peel a banana, you get the best part.
That is kind of how bananas work. Everybody say hi to Rebecca.
Hello, world. Customer service foiled my plans to come to class today.
But class came to you. 1 second. This is the last.
Oh, that matrix. Okay.
So we got all the which we have.
To the future generations.
Future
This
generations.
is the finale of the YouTube playlist. So you can literally say whatever you want.
You can do it. It's not that hard. Study, sleep, eat, talk to people. Love Jesus.
That was very profound. Do you have what you order here? Walk us through the order.
It's a Moe's quesadilla that's been sitting in here for like an hour and a half.
Ooh.
Pretty good.
That's what we pay tuition for.
Scott, Axel has some wisdom for the.
Oh, he has wisdom? Wait, let me see. Wait.
I think I finished it. I was checking with Preb and we have different answers, so I'm concerned.
You know, I don't know.
Can I have a question? How does this work? Like, shouldn't it be like 2x1 equals minus 2x2 plus x3, and then you can just write it as the function? I don't know how this happened.
Review the lecture when we covered diagonalization originally, because I really tediously beat that horse like dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Hey, all I know is I'm better than him in badminton. So that's a thought to remember.
Proposition, if you will, right? For
Yeah. The disappointment.
Just 6 hours.
You sad now, huh?
3 Shrek movies, right?
No, it's not. That's it.
You just open all the homework and have a nice full.
I can do this all day. No, I'm joking. I'm shy now.
Just
I'm shy.
if you do that,
I'm so shy.
What?
Quite literally.
Denzel is trying to proposition our teacher to open up all the homework so that he can get a better grade, but he used a time frame of 3 Shrek movies, and I'm curious which 3.
Thank you, Dr. Harder.
Take good notes, kids.
Hey, I'll do that.
Oh, this is like
Everyone.
So I will
personal homework so you can get credit for them. But the only way it works is if you have to literally open that homework and then resave it.
Okay.
Otherwise, nothing changes. So you have to engage with the assignment by at least opening it and resaving it.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
How long is this applicable to?
End the semester.
Because if you don't do that, if you don't click on the assignment and then like hit submit again, if it had late penalties, the server has not communicated that you get full credit again. So it's still reading it as you're just late.
When is this grace period?
I don't know, which probably means just do it sooner than later.
Cool. I'm 100% submitted, so I'm fine.
I think it's the Thursday final or something like that.
The 29th.
I don't remember which one.
So we'll say Sunday the 27th.
Sunday the 27th for the Blake Pearson. Okay?
He's got a question.
For this, does it matter if I choose 1, -1, or -1, 1 for that equation to be true?
Well, you would want to plug in for x1, so divide both sides by 2, and you'd have x1 is equal to minus x2 plus 1/2 x3.
And I can just say x3 equals 0 for the v.
Well, you need to plug it into original vector. Like, describe the solution set as a linear combination. So it's like plug into x.
V3.
So like x is equal to x1, x2, x3.
Right.
Yeah. See how you did that right there?
So I should do the same thing here?
This thing. No. Right. So right x like x vector equals.
X vector?
Yeah, like the vector x, like literally x as a vector, and then make your thing x1, x2, x3, like it's a column vector. X1, x2, x3, and then you have and then plug in what your values are. So for x1, plug in this. For x2, plug in this. And since x3 is free, just leave it as x3. So equals.
Okay.
And then, so plug in what you have for x1.
x3.
And now plug in what you have for x2.
x3.
And then x3 is free, so x3. And now you factor out the x3, and whatever vector you get after factoring is it. So
it would end up being -2,
minus 2. Well, this actually would work, because that's a scalar multiple, yeah. So that you could do that. Mm-hmm.
So same thing for the other one.
Mm-hmm. It'll just be one vector instead of 2.
It's 4 times 7.
I hate doing math with my head.
Sua cabeça?
Tá doendo.
Como é that? Steam.
Can I send my work off?
What?
Big time.
I mean, oh, this is so pretty.
Oh,
Look at this, guys.
Look at this.
You're not even graduating this semester. Why are you counting down the literal days?
well, because it helps me organize and like figure out when my exams are and stuff.
Has it actually helped you?
Yeah.
Well then, 10 out of 10 idea.
Thank
10
you.
out of 10.
But the solution guide said no. On D12. I'm willing to say if Nathan and I got the same answer, the solution guide is just wrong.
I realized I can't play badminton today because I'm going to be getting churrasco with the Brazilians.
Yeah? Tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow.
During the linear exam.
Maybe, we'll see.
Can I take you up on the geometry dash idea? I feel like it'll be more challenging than the exam.
Hey, did you say something? Sorry, I couldn't hear from your dumbness. What you said?
Oh, okay.
Only thing I'm saying is, I remember somebody saying for the final for Prim, you could just win a geometry dash.
A geometry dash?
A geometry dash.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big
My ADHD is stronger than yours.
This is gonna be the biggest academic comeback in history.
Yeah, it better be. Because I'm actually cry. I probably cry tears. Genuinely.
I think I've been
I mourn. I grieve.
Why are you crying, Scott?
What advice do you have? More specifically, what advice do you have in terms of how to function without sleep?
What eyes? What eyes do I have?
What advice?
Advice. What wisdom do you have for the future students on how to function without sleep? Or wisdom for me?
So I'm taking it you don't have any.
Not as much as I would like.
Well, usually when I've been sleep deprived, I just I pray and I go, God, I'm gonna die. So sustain me. He doesn't take away the pain, but he does get you through it.
Amen.
So, Jessica Green, you're gonna suffer.
I am gonna suffer.
But your God will provide for you in the suffering.
That's good.
So don't ask him to remove your suffering. Ask him to change your attitude toward it.
That was a bar.
That's basically just scripture though. It's not really a bar.
Hey, you're telling scripture.
There we go. So suffer well.
I will suffer well.
I am probably not suffering well right now. Because instead of being responsible and preparing an exam review, I didn't sleep at all last night, and now I'm running around with this laptop recording wisdom from the classroom.
That's okay. Hey, for you, wisdom class watchers, just look at the examples.
Yeah, that's also part of it. Like, I already did the exam review.
Just look at them.
Yeah, just look at them.
Like, just look at them with your eyes.
Well, do more than just look at them.
And do them.
Thank you.
Go to the library. If you are a student at Oral Roberts University, go to the library and check out one of the whiteboards. Or go to the I4 labs. Either of those two, the whiteboards are your friends. Because studies show that standing and writing on non-permanent vertical surfaces improves your retention more than sitting at a table with pen and paper.
Can you cite your sources for that?
Building Thinking Classrooms by Peter Lich et al. I don't know.
Yeah, she literally
So yeah, I don't know how to say his last name though, because it's like confusing. Lich et al.
Noelle, what was that insane side eye there you gave to the camera? Did you have something to share?
No, nothing.
What was?
I was not having anything to share. I was just listening very intently to what Jessica was saying.
Are you suffering, Natalie?
I guess so.
Do you think that your suffering is evil or that it's actually good for you?
I think it's good for me.
That's because Natalie is mature. A woman of God. A woman of God. Who's gonna get you through your suffering? Gloria. Glory.
Standing and writing.
Okay, what time is it? It's already 2:10. See ya. Okay, everybody, it's 2:10. For the last time on the YouTube playlist, everyone say goodbye, farewell, forever. Bye. Oh.